お前はもう死んでいる。何？
Hey guys. So I got a request a while back. A commenter had asked about the reliability of my Samurai Edge after the barrel was polished by Brazen Firearms. And I thought I can do that, but it'd be a pretty short video, so I thought why don't I just talk about the Samurai Edge project as well. So the model that I used is the M9A1. I knew that was the model that I wanted compared to the other ones like the FS. I understand the Brigadier is the closest one to the Samurai Edge, but I just liked the technical aspects of the M9A1. I liked that it had a flared magwell, it has a stippling at the front. I liked all that, and I figured, well, out of all the options I saw, I figured that was the one that I picked as the base model. Now, before making any functional or cosmetic changes, I did take it to the range one time a couple years back, and the ammunition I used was Winchester White Box 147 grain jacketed hollow point. And taking the gun completely out, I didn't oil it or anything. It ran through perfectly except one round, but I'm pretty sure it's just that one round. Anytime I would try to chamber it, the gun would not be fully closed. You wouldn't lock up fully. And so I'm sitting there struggling at trying to take it out, and eventually I do muscle it out of there. And I try it again, and of course it's stuck again. So basically I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to put it in the chamber this time, and then just close the slide. And I did that. I fired the gun. It's fine. So again, I think it was just that one bullet that was giving me trouble. After that, as I said, starting with the Samurai Edge project, I started mostly with functional changes because I wasn't sure, do I really want to dedicate myself to this project, which in my estimation easily runs $1,300 to $1,500, everything included. And so I changed a couple of the functional things I wanted. I knew I wanted a decocking lever. Typically, the 92 FS and its variants come with a manual safety. That means when the hammer is cocked and you use the decocking lever, it'll decock it and it'll stay in a manual safety lock position. But I switched them out because I wanted to be decocker only. So basically, when I decock it, it won't stay. If I let go it goes right back up. And that's what I wanted for a functional aspect of the gun. After that, I changed the hammer spring. You can change the hammer spring to a double action only spring. And I remember at the time, if there was a difference, I really didn't notice much of a difference. Other than that, I switched out a couple other things. The mag release, for example, tends to be quite flat, and I really have to switch my hand in order to get the mag release, or to get the magazine out. And I switch it out with the extended mag release. Granted, I cannot release it from a defensive position, but it's easier for me to release the magazine from here than it was before with the stock. Now the hammer, this kind of falls into functional and cosmetic. As you can see, it's a nice stainless steel skeletonized hammer. Being skeletonized has less weight, increases cycling rate, so that's arguably a functional change. And of course, it's cosmetic because it's a nice low polish stainless steel. As I mentioned in my Brazen Firearms review, the Brazen's barrel polish was the highest level. The aftermarket stainless steel guide rod is a little bit less than that, and then the skeletonized hammer was the way low level of polish. Yeah. Now I think, the trigger. The trigger is a short reach steel trigger because I have small hands, and it's steel, and I kind of like that. More weight. Plastic parts is kind of just I don't know. It's just not for me. It kind of just gives me a bad feeling. So I switched it out for a short reach steel trigger. And I think that's pretty much does it for the functional changes. Now for the cosmetic changes, which probably sticks out right away, is of course the grips. The grips are from DS Grips. I ordered it from him, and it uses Jill's base model, but I decided to go with the Super Rosewood instead. I love Super Rosewood. I have it on my Heritage Rough Rider. I'm gonna get it on my Uberti Cattleman when that goes off for custom work. So Super Rosewood is just a really great color. I love it. Now, another cosmetic change is going to be the slide. It is engraved. It has the stars, the Resident Evil stars engraving. And for the opposite side, you can get two choices. Basically, it's the custom kendo, or you get it like this, which says, I hope you can read it there. Mod Samurai Edge, law enforcement use only. That's the one that I wanted. Nothing wrong with the custom kendo, but that kind of seems like a new thing to me. So I didn't want to jump on the bandwagon for that, and I like that Mod Samurai Edge. So that's the engraving I went with. And obviously, as you can tell, the barrel was obviously polished by Brazen. So that about does it for functional and cosmetic changes. Now, I did go to the range today, and unfortunately, we're going to have a couple of variables. I can tell you right away that it ran fine. It was 100% perfect. There was no hiccup whatsoever. And the ammunition used was Winchester USA Forged, 115 grain, which I hear has a bad reputation. But if this ate right through it no problem, then that might say something about Brazen's polished free ramp work, or Winchester has upgraded their quality control. So unfortunately, we can't be sure. One thing I did notice, I think, in my experience, was that the ammo seemed to be inconsistent. So when I'm shooting it, I have a target and I kind of know where to hit. Very rarely do I come across a gun that hits exactly on, maybe once or twice in my life. It's always going to lean left or right, up or down. So I just put a target up there and I get a general idea of where it hits so I know where to shoot. And so I put the target up there and I noticed that it hits upper right. So I have to aim low left. I'm like, okay, fine. So I would take a couple shots at the plates and I get it. And then I would miss like 10 times. And I was like, okay. And so I put the target up again and be like, oh, am I crazy? What's going on here? So I'm shooting it. And again, it's upper right. I'm like, okay, well then I shouldn't miss like more than half my shots, So I don't know if that might be something to do with Winchester USA Forged, that the ammo was not consistent or it doesn't seem to hit in the same spot. Now, I haven't seen that online. I was looking at reviews for it, and nobody talks about that. They just talk about ejection problems or failure to feed, things like that. But as I said, I didn't get any of that. It ran flawlessly. I'm just not sure if the ammo is hitting in the same spot consistently. Now, I would like to say that where it's hitting is different than the stock Beretta, but that's a problem because this is a stainless barrel, and I still have the black barrel right here. This is the one that was shooting the 100 shots of Winchester 147 grain jacketed hollow point, and it was, pretty close to center, maybe a little high, right? But now we have a problem. Okay, so if it's shooting upper right, is that because this is a stainless barrel, which is a whole new barrel, or is it because the Winchester USA Forged is 115 grain, and then this one was using 147 grain? So now, of course, that's a problem. And I think if somehow USA Forged ammo becomes available, or any ammo becomes available, I'd be more than happy to test it. Certainly I would run Winchester USA Forged through the original barrel, and then I want to run the 147 grain through this barrel and see if the results are the same. But unfortunately, based on our times right now, that's not very likely. But as I said, the commenter just asked about reliability, and I'm happy to say that it runs perfectly. There was no problem. And based on internet reputation, if there was going to be a problem, it should have been through Winchester USA Forged, and that was not the case for me. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always comment. You can always message me on Instagram. Anything's fine. But I hope that helps you guys out, and you take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.